9900 podcast. Hey, this is the first podcast we're having with a guest. Let me hype him up. This is the world's fifth most dangerous man. Matt, the man with iron hands. Over the top movie narrator / arm wrestling champion, the Gilded Dragon himself, Barone.
What's going on, Brian? Thanks for having me in this lovely basement of a factory in Camden, New Jersey.
That's right. Our location, you can't even put a pin on our location through any GPS system because it'll be flagged by other crack dealers so you don't give away their location. So we did this intro about 5 minutes ago, and it was a pretty sweet intro, but the recording rig we have here in the studio, which essentially is a karaoke machine and 2 computer microphones, decided to spit the tape back out, and it was great. I mean, we had Austin Aries here. He was talking about stuff. It was nuts, but he had to run. It was crazy. Vince McMahon phoned in, and we just lost it all.
And Roman Reigns came in and gave us all syphilis.
That's exactly what I heard it was. That's why he's not back. So we're gonna get a lot of serious stuff done today. That's what we're gonna do.
As you can tell by our intros right now.
We can just keep talking about drugs and sexually transmitted diseases for the next. I like to do it under 10 minutes. So for the next like 8 minutes or so, that's what we're just going to talk about.
That was all 80s wrestling was, like STDs and drugs, wasn't it? Really?
I'm pretty sure there's actually a book on my shelf inside here in the 9900 podcast studio of doom and black mold. I have several wrestling novels. And one of them, I believe, is called Wrestling, Sex, Lies, STDs, Drugs, and Terry Funk. So the real reason that we're here today we're discussing the big Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn being thrown off the European tour, big walk-off. How's at your side of the country? How you guys handling that over there?
It's tough. There's 2 ways I'm looking at it. It's either they are trying to go back to doing ways they're used to doing, ROH days, and just doing what they want and not listening to the upper management, or is this all work to get them as a really big team to come back and just start fighting all the other tag teams, all the other staples in the WWE, like fighting against New Day, fighting against the Shield with Triple H now, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, that man's ego knows no bounds.
Yeah.
I did a podcast, I think it was maybe like a week or 2 ago, playing around with the idea of Daniel Bryan, since he's kind of like the ousted manager, so to speak. And in real life, since somehow like wrestling kind of treads like the line with like real life. And we all know Daniel Bryan, he was cleared by 2 doctors saying that he could wrestle, but the WWE doctors said they wouldn't clear him to wrestle. So he said, like, you know, off the cuff on whether it was other podcasts or social media, that he wants to wrestle, but there's no way WWE will give him up because he's money. He's still making money. What would it be if Daniel Bryan was like an NWO? Would it fit in with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
I don't see why not, because they all did Ring of Honor together. They all wrestled each other several times, and they were all pretty tight knit there. Like that whole one class is pretty much all those guys coming up in one shot. So that would be amazing. Actually getting pushing more talent in instead of just pushing Roman Reigns. Yeah. And Rusev and all these other guys who are great, but they're not as talented as that class, like all around.
When I go in and edit, I'm going to put a Rusev Day underneath that.
Oh.
So we can't hear it now, but we're going to hear it. Let's make wrestling interesting again. It would be interesting if it has the line to be really freaking cool.
It has a great line to be cool, especially now with all the talent they have and all the money they have and what they could do. But the story writing right now and what they have is very poorly executed, at least in the main rosters.
Yeah. To go back and do like an NWO style storyline with a controlled ego, so you wouldn't have Hogan pushing it one way, Bischoff pushing it this way, just like a bunch of guys just making tons and tons of money.
Well, yeah, like it was NWO was like Bischoff wanting to get his thing off, and then all those other guys wanting to relive their glory days of like getting every single fan to love them. Mm-hmm. All wrestling fans pretty much got smarter and more intelligent. They want got mic skills, better wrestling skills, not just, all right, brother, and just throw an elbow off the top of the rope. Like, that's all it was.
If WWE did it correct, Just like I'm not going to get into the whole Broken Hardy thing, because Broken Matt Hardy could be really cool if it's done with the WWE platform and WWE money and WWE production quality, but done the correct way.
Yeah, not just the way they want it to make money. It has to be done the way Matt wants it with that budget.
Can they give up
Pride.
enough creative, though?
Yeah, can they give her their pride and her ego to let Matt just be like, I got this, just give me the money.
And with, like, the NWO thing, like, if it was, like, a Daniel Bryan, Yes Movement, NWO, whatever, something like that, I wouldn't want it to be white and black NWO, bow, 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 Daniel Bryan comes out, you know, but then I wouldn't want it to be anything. It would have to be really well thought out and written well. What was the group that they had with wasn't United Nations? Was that what it was called? It was Rusev?
Yeah,
and,
United Nations.
Yeah, it was Rusev and Del Rio. It would have to be done really well. And I don't know if the WWE has that in them. They do, but can they?
Yeah, because it's again like you got Triple H pretty much running NXT, and Vince is still like has his death grip on the main roster, which is killing it because his ego is too big to let anything else go that he doesn't approve of.
It can go so many ways. I think WWE is playing the smart marks, quote unquote. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens being kicked off, finger quotes again, the European tour to further build on this whole going into business for themselves thing.
They've both been at this for too long to be like, we're going to walk away from this and not make as much money as we possibly could. That's your end goal for almost any wrestler, is they want to be WWE no matter what the limits are, because that's your payday. That's payday for them.
Yeah, as much as...
You can't live off fame and glory all the time in ROH. You have to live off money.
Yeah, as much as like guys like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are saying, you know, that they can make a living in the indies, which is the truth. You can make money in the indies, granted, now as opposed to 10 years ago. Yeah, that's a good timeline.
Yeah, definitely.
But the end game is pretty much WWE. That's the only place to really go. You know, unless you're going to Japan and you're getting good payoffs in Japan. Yeah. But
like even now, like Kenny Omega, all those guys that like we're not going to WWE ever, but they could still work the rest of their life and make a decent living in ROH and New Japan, but they'll have to work twice as hard as they would in WWE. Because the WWE, you don't have to work as hard in New Japan, like because they do promotion for you, they do everything for you. ROH is just pretty much you trying to get like work yourself, because company doesn't have the big as much production budget or advertising budget as WWE does.
WWE being the end game. Kenny Omega, for instance, I mean, you never really know, and he could take off, and he could wind up working 6 dates out of the month.
Yeah.
As opposed to working his ass off in an independent or something like that.
Where he's working like 20 days, 25 days.
Or he could come in and he could fall flat.
Yeah.
It really depends on A, how Mr. McMahon's feeling that day about you. B, the gimmick and such you have been given to roll with. Granted, the days are gone of the
Doink the Clowns and Papa Shangos
and the garbage man and the repo man.
IRS.
Yes, yeah. You bring in a guy like Mike Rotunda, Bray Wyatt's daddy. If anybody hasn't figured that out or used the Google to realize that IRS is Bray Wyatt's daddy. IRS is Bray Wyatt's daddy. Anyway.
Isn't Bo Dallas too?
Bo Dallas is the brother.
Yeah, he's a bonus.
Yeah, so it's a whole little family affair, which again, I want to do a podcast on the Wyatt family. I want what I think the Wyatt family should be. Not to digress too hard, because I love digressing. I love it. I love love going on tangents. But I thought it'd be great. As soon as I saw Bo Dallas growing out his facial hair, I'm like, he's gonna be a Wyatt. The Wyatt family's gonna be sick. But it didn't really occur that way. But getting back to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, it's a work. It is definitely going to be a work. When they left the ring at SmackDown, they did what they were supposed to do. That's what they were instructed to do, and that's what they did as heels. getting kicked off the European tour, and you're seeing everybody covering it. You're seeing Bleacher Report and everybody else is covering it. Reasons why Kevin Owens was talking loudly on the bus about his disapproval, blah, 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 and backing it up with the fact that, oh, Neville walked. Neville is going to the Indies. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn aren't going to roll up into your local Knights of Columbus anytime soon and wrestle in front of 65 people. It's not going to happen.
Or even like going to Manhattan Ballroom with any of these other smaller independent places. It's not going to happen because they could be getting, WWE, like, yeah, they might not be getting out there as much or getting over as much as they like, but it's still that big money, like that payday.
Just for the hell of it, I looked up the tickets for the Raw anniversary at Manhattan Center because I thought it would be cool to see it from there. Those tickets are starting at like $400.
Well,
insane.
Undertaker's going to be there. Shawn Michaels, like all the original Raw guys are going to be there essentially.
That would be really freaking cool. But you know what?
Including somewhere that small.
Yeah. Well,
like it used to be. Like, see, I remember going there seeing like WWE there years ago. But then like from more recently, like ECW. Well, that wasn't recently. ECW there, like taking a train over to see ECW there, or going to see with my friend Mark, going to see ROH events there, which is awesome. It's a cool, but seeing like paying $400 for a ticket to see a bunch of older guys wrestle or like, sign autographs is just like, because you're gonna pay let's say they're doing autographs, $400 for autograph, then like, well, get in there, and then like they're gonna be charging money just for autographs too.
I don't ever ask for any money, donations, or anything at all while podcasting or anything that I do. That's the main reason why this is on YouTube and I'm not putting it on any sort of podcasting server or anything, because I don't want there to be a commercial every 2 seconds or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the PayPal link underneath. And if you want to donate $800 to me and the world's fifth most dangerous man so we can go to the Manhattan Center.
When we first did the first take of this, I was a fourth dangerous man. I got dropped down in like 5 minutes. That's all it takes for me to drop down to the fifth.
Yes, I screwed up and called him the fifth most dangerous man in the world the second time through. But yeah, I'll put that down there. If you want to drop $800 into the PayPal, we'll go there, and I will get your name tattooed on my body. And even if your name is like Butthurt Stinkabutts, I'll get it. I don't care. Let's do this thing. Anyway, back to.
I'll back that too. You get us to the Manhattan Center for Anniversary of Raw. We'll get your names tattooed on there. Any donation over $100.
This could be good and bad at the same time, but we're gonna be good. This is the only time. That's it. Other than that, we're just gonna start giving back. Actually, you know what? Speaking of giving back, Matt is part of an organization too that does a lot of good in the lovely state of New Jersey, and I believe nationwide there's a whole group.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of chapters in either each state or each part of every state in the whole entire country.
Drop the name.
The name of the website is a Chive, but our group name is the Jersey Chivers. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all social media. You can find us.
Drop a URL.
Facebook /Jersey Chivers.
Easy enough.
Yeah, CHIVERS. But yeah, we do a lot of charity work. We're having a SantaCon this December 9th in Seaside Heights. You pay $25, you get a beer mug, a patch, a whole bar crawl with the people dressed as Santa down in Seaside, and it's a great time. Last year we raised over I think $2,000. All this month of December we're collecting toys for kids at St. Peter's Orphanage. So if you want to do that, Brian will put the link on the URL there for our page, and you can contact us where our drop will be. The next thing after that is Devils vs. Flyers. Yeah, we do a bunch of charity work, mostly specializing in kids with rare diseases, incurable diseases, veterans, people who've been through massive tragedies.
See, we're trying to give back. It's giving back a lot more than doing a podcast in a basement in the downtrodden areas of New Jersey. That's actually giving back to the community. But for those who do listen and or watch, or even just come here to give it the good old thumbs down, I'll put the link to everything. I will have Matt send me an email with anything he wants to link at the bottom of the page. I'll put that first, and then all the way at the bottom, I'll put the begging for Manhattan Center money. I'll put that all the way on the bottom, so we have a little
$800 gets us there. $8 to each of us. We'll go harass everyone that goes there outside the arena.
We will go to jail. for this. We're going to jail for this. That's all we got for now. We don't want to drag this out any longer than it is, and we got to be out by sundown before the shooting happens, because apparently we've established that this is a rough neighborhood.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Legit, can't wait to be back.
Yeah, again, thank you to the fifth, almost fourth dangerous man in the world, Matt Barone, 9900 Podcast. Hey, check out all the links below. That is it. Ba-boom!